Alright, good day. This is African Crypto Warlord, and today we'll be looking over some XRP USDT. Right now, as you can see, we have the distribution coin going. It's a little bit delayed. Sorry, this is my first time on a stream, but what we can see here is distribution coin playing out, and what we're going to do is we're going to observe where our 15-minute is, and from there we will see what our next targets are. Okay, so this is our 15-minute data. Well, I just want to double check so that I don't panic with my first live stream. Cool, so we're on the correct data. I don't know how to. Okay, so what we're going to go and do is we're going to look in on the 15-minute. As you can see, we have a distribution coin here. We're going to throw up VRE levels. VRE levels are going to dictate general direction for the weekend, and then from there what we're going to do is we're going to throw up reverse wave trend, and then we'll look into where UMP is. So the general idea being is, if this continues out of here, you'll look for continuation when you get above the orange line. Okay, when you get above the orange line, we will expect a pullback when we have these two cross. Alright, given that we have a distribution coin down here that we haven't hit, there could still be some more bullish downs, there could be some bearish downside to the cone at the general area when these two cross. So wick in somewhere here in due time, but as we said, failure points 1, 2 or reverse wave trend. Now we're going to go look for confluence just on our 15-minute. So we have some bullish div coming through on our return oscillator. Okay, we have sloppy chips, but volatility is expanding into a random point. So right now on this lower term time frame, it's going to be a little bit better. Hey bro, what's up? It's going to be a little bit harder to decide what direction is going to come off of this. So we're going to go look into our 45-minute, and then we're going to go look for positive or negative drift. So I switch off the cones now because those cones are only for the 15-minute. Okay, so we sort of have some expansion to the downside, but we're at a very random point. Here's our JMA, so you can say if you want to look for a little bit of continuation up into these red lines, you'll be looking for a close above the JMA 3732, and that will confirm this cross to the downside. So that print happens in 2 minutes time, so hopefully we'll be back there in 2 minutes time to catch that observation. Then we're going to throw it on the 90-minute. Wow, that's quite surprising. I'm surprised this internet's just uploading and doing this. We'll find out in the review. Okay, so there's some bearish div that's setting in, and you can say that this bearish div has continuation if we close below 3744. Okay, there's some positive drift in the book, which is what's buying up this little wick, which is why this candle isn't staying down, for example. Okay, so that's something we'll have to observe. And it says we're also coming back to a random point in the market. Our returns have hit one standard deviation to the downside, so you'd look for initial stop at that point. 3 hours got positive drift behind it, which has kept that cross from going as deep as it would. Generally, what I'd be looking for, if this wants to follow through and really mean revert the 3 hour to the downside, when the slower SMA gets to the mean, I would expect the candle to be the next candle to also be at this mean, and if it closes at this VRE level, and if it closes below that, then this will also mean revert to the downside. Okay, then we're going to go to our 6 hour. 6 hours having an outlier event, but the reason why it's being kept up is because we have some positive drift in the book. Alright, volatility is contracting, and it's negatively correlated, so volatility says down, price action says no, it's positive drift, so it wants to go up. Alright, so we'll wait for at least another 24 hours worth of longer term confirmation, and then from there we can see what's cutting. And then we have some mean reversion on the 12 hour, backed by some volatility expansion. Obviously we have big candles, so your high term time frames are going to look like they set up quite nicely. Alright, oh man, I should have been lifting that, I didn't check. Alright, So 12-hour expansion down here in volatility, and we're still in our trend. We have 45 minutes should be ready. We just opened it. Okay, so what can we read on the 45 minute? 45 minutes says mean reversion, which will confirm this cross. So any close above JMA 3727, any closes above there on this 45 minute candle, that follows through. That has mean reversion. Decays are sort of decaying to the downside, but it could lift a little higher, right? You would say that if it was to continue out of here, this candle will get to 3735, and that's backed by some positive drift in the market, for example. Okay, sorry, where were we? We were at the 12 hour, so 12 hour had some expansion on it, looking for legs. It's hit its outlier point. As you can see, there's an outlier point up here, boom, and we had a VRE level up in that region. 24 hour, 24 hours got hidden bullish div on it, whilst in its trend and volatility is expanding, looking clean. There's still some sloppy chips that needs to happen, and this thing's still in trend, so I'd expect another 1 day with a positive drift into the market. What we will observe is in 3 hours time where our new daily VRE prints. I'll switch that off for now. As we start to go up, it starts to make the charts a little bit more hectic to see. So there you can go, any closes generally above 3679, and you can look for this mean reversion play to happen, to follow through to the upside, as it's also backed by some expansion. If the next daily opens and closes below 3675, you will expect a denied mean reversion on the higher term time frames. I'm going to check Discord. Let me load it up. Okay. With real man. Shot. Okay, so your 24 hours is going to be backed up on by closing above here, opens and closes the next candle above here. That's naturally going to mean revert through. We are hitting an outlier event. We could have some follow through though, given that we've been expanding quite nicely here, even though it's been jaggedy. Okay, and then what can we observe? We have some expansion follow through on the 3-day mean reversion to the upside. So generally this thing, yeah, we broke through our band down here. We're looking for a mean reversion point at 42 cents 49, which is in the next print it's actually going to be a lower high, you could say. I don't know if I can, if that's cool. Yeah, which will be generally a lower high because there's a wick over here, and then you'll see that this thing will hit its outlier event when it's at that point, and then you're gonna sort of have to have significant positive correlation with expansion to push us through that region on the 3-day. Our 5-day, this is what I really like. So 5 days mean reverted to the upside. Let me just make this big. Okay, so as you can see, here. Okay, so we're gonna just do a super zoom quick. So confluence and data, this is what I like to look for. Okay, right, so we have a bullish div which was set coming through our reverse wave trend. Okay, and we have a little bit of sideways action here, hence the big wick. So it went sideways, but it hit the reverse wave trend. Okay, we mean reverting on our super scalper, which means at this point that's pretty good, because we will have some opportunity for follow through with regards to bullishness. But what needs to happen is this grey cloud needs to go, it needs to come down for this to break a complete higher high, and it's at 45. First touch will be 45.62, next touch will be around about 51 cents. Okay, and that will be because of positive drift. So 7-day, let me open up that. 7-day contraction was positive correlation, which is also a nice thing to have coming out of this reverse wave trend. Alright, if we open and close this candle, which closes in 1 day and 3 hours, above this orange line, this will naturally have a bullish div, or just a bull div on it, or just decent decent confluence to play through, like just a natural flow to play through. So we're going to go look at the 14-day. I want to get Poloniex up on the 21-day, get that one ready. Okay, so we have so the 14-day and the 7-day match. Positive drift, and 21-day. Sorry, I just need to reset all of this. Move it, reset it. This positive drift. Okay. So now we're just gonna go positive drift 21-day, positive drift 14-day, positive drift 7-day, positive drift sideways on 5-day, 3-day expansion, 2-day. Some people like the 2-day. 2-day is mean reverting to the upside and is having its outlier event. 24-hour positive, still in trend, can mean revert. So there's a little bit more up at the current moment. Expansion whilst in trend, 12-hour mean reverted. Contraction, that's positive drift. Let's see what's making this bearish. Sideways on the 3-hour. Sideways on the 90-minute, but now we want to put VRE levels on. Okay, 45-minute. Contraction, negatively correlated, looking for a new trend. So majority of the selling pressure should be brought up, which could confirm that. Bots and algos lift their sell orders. So we're looking for a close above JMA for continuation to the upside. The close below JMA will obviously make this easier to push to the downside. Orange, you'll look for downside at the moment that the orange line crosses this red line. Will be good confluence liquidity sitting there. 30-minute. 30-minute close, contraction. That's a little bit dragged down. We're coming into a reverse wave trend. There's a blue flash. Looking for mean reversion. Could fall through. Expansion. Bit sideways. So 15-minute. We throw up our cone now. It should be. Did I miss it? Sorry. I need to make sure that I have set on the right data. No, it's not. Come on. There you go. Okay. So we were waiting for these crosses on the 15-minute. There's liquidity here. It looks like they're targeting it now. 6 minutes for that to happen. I like to move on to. Let's just see what the returns are saying. It's looking for mean reversion. So this play will happen if this candle obviously closes above there. The next one will want to wick in and then pull back up. And then when that happens, your super scalper will be through, and you'll have bullish up here. There is still a bit of sideways. That's what I would be looking at as for next play. We've had outliers to the downside. Continuation can be to the cone. So as we said, this is a little bit of a hard level to trade, as this is a point of liquidity. If you wanted to fill, you would have been targeting this thing now. Let me start shuffling up, put it on the 30, see if anything's following through. Outlier event, I'd prefer for this to actually just wick in and touch that, and obviously do what it wants done. Positive correlation does make that an opportunity. We still have a blue flash, and then I'm going to go throw it onto XRP BTC. Okay, so those ones aren't looking too hectic. We'll throw it up on the 1 minute. Sorry, I'm not in the comments, man. There we are. Okay, so I will throw it up on the 1 minute in a minute now. Bearish div. Throw this cone off. Cool, touch. That's where the bear div was set in. There's your bottom side of the cone. Alright. Only confirms more strongness to the downside when it mean reverts here, and you're more than likely, if it mean reverts here, then you'll be looking to break through the orange line. So we have some lift coming in. That's from our other term time frames. Cool. BTC expansion on the 7 minute. Then we go through up XRP BTC. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. Expansion on the 15, on the 7 minute. Let's dial it in from the 1. Put on our reverse wave trend. That should load. Come on, baby. Mean reversion at this point. Coming into the books, but having an outlier. A bunch of flashes. Losing its trend to the upside, so it can get defeated by the red line. See if there's any continuation with regards to any direction. We've come through a reverse wave trend over here, moving into positive drift, which could get us to the mean. There you go, positive drift in. I like to see 7 minute. Mean reversion coming in for its outlier. Obviously the outlier is here at the mean. Pretty random, given we're just halfway through that candle. There's your doji on the 15. Contraction into negative correlation, maybe the next best possible phase. That is confirmed if you close above the JMA on the next candle open. And if you close above the JMA's lift, it will lift just where this pretty much doji is. If you close above the fucking doji right now, sorry, then you'll mean revert to the upside with positive drift. Divs, contraction, a little bit of sideways. We have hit our orange region. We came in really close to our red dots. That's fine. Okay. Contraction, negative. There's a little bit of positive drift here. It's quite far away from the orange side of things. Any of you guys going to cross anytime soon? Not yet. Okay, so what's going to confirm this for continuation to the downside? That's what we're looking here at for the 90 minute. Contraction, negatively correlated. We're looking for expansion. Next best phase is up. But as you can see, it's going to be quite a hard fight. I need to do a percentage thing here. So if you do, because that'll move, if you do 0.45%, you can expect continuation and denied mean reversion. But if you close below this line, this will continue on through, as it'll be hard to beat that line on the next print. 3 hour. Also, super scalpers hit through, and that confirms this one closing below the line. Expansion is going to move into sideways for a moment here, whilst maybe waiting for that to mean revert to the downside. 3 hours got like 3 times 3, 9 hours to play. 6 hour. I'm going to put up a distribution cone on this thing in a minute. I just want to see all these levels. Contraction, that's sort of adding to the positive drift, that's keeping it up above the JMA. Whoa, what's up, what's up? Hi guys, I just saw like extra 4 people join. Thanks. So what we're doing is I'm reviewing BTC, XRP BTC and XRP USDT. I'm shuffling from 1 minute up to the 21 day. Alright, I'm currently at the 12 hour. I'll just do a quick analysis of shooting of what's cutting at the moment. So we have expansion on volatility whilst positively correlated, which means that there is an opportunity to go up. We have mean reversion here, which also gives the benefit of the doubt. But this mean reversion is only true to the upside into this orange band if we close above this red line. So that's what we're looking for. Currently though, as we're shuffling through, we could see the 90 minutes starting to drop off a bit, right? So we have some bull div on the 30 minutes that's coming through here, but what it's telling me is there's a little bit of negative drift in the book because the contraction was positively correlated. So volatility is contracting, and price action is positively correlated to that, right? So they're going in the same direction. That's sort of what all these tools are. They're percentage return oscillators. Okay, so 45 minute on XRP BTC is what we're looking for follow through, and the 90 minute seems like it doesn't want to happen with regards to that. So what we're going to be looking for is, if just the 2 oaks that were watching earlier, I was just saying if we close and we lift up above this JMA region, you'll more than likely expect some follow through in this reverse oscillator. Okay, and it's quite surprising, this started to mean revert a lot quicker than I expected, so there could be a little bit of follow through here, but that only is true if we close above 1861. I'll go do XRP USDT next. Let me just shuffle up. 90 minutes contraction, that is a little bit of positive drift, which is where I left off before everyone jumped in. Is the reason why this mean reversion play is taking a little bit longer than expected is because we have a tiny bit of positive drift. So it could be going sideways for another it's just printed. So for another 75 minutes, it can just go sideways, and then you can wait for mean reversion to the downside. And my general target for that is where this orange line would be, so it would be halfway, I'd say, in this region here, 1806, just for a little bit of random confluence when the time comes. There we go, 3 hour. And so we saw the lower term time frames wanting to kick around, right? So now we saw the 90-minute saying, hey, hold up, we still have some dumps going on here. So what we're going to be looking in for then is some expansion, and you can see here that this is sideways, because, oh, let me get rid of that. That was for homie. Sorry, I need to get some juice. Sorry, guys. So what we need to do here is see what's gonna negate the midterm highs, the midterm time frames. Its possibility to mean revert to the downside. So 3 hours saying it's confused. It's looking for a new trend. Let me just reset all these things. Cool. Now I can see. Then we're going to go 6 hours. See what the 6 hours doing. It's more than likely wanting to mean revert. Contraction though, positive drift. So positive drift is what's kept it up above the JMA. Alright. 12 hour. 12 hours expanding to the upside, and it's catching a new trend. So until we have a contraction phase here, and that's still in positive correlation, is when the returns will really start to drag down. I would say this will look for continuation if we close above this VRE level here. But given that we have a new daily that prints in 2 hours and 42 minutes, what I want to be observant of is where that daily mean is going to print, because I do believe we'll have a wick back to that region. Alright, expansion positively correlated, still in its trend. It's been quite a big candle considering, and it's still in its trend, and this candle smaller than the previous one it came from. Some nice clean data hitting its outlier point. 2 day, I need to lift that up a bit. 2 day, let me turn off the VRE so we both don't go blind. There we go. 2 days heavily mean reverted, right? And now in my eyes, I said this is a front run, but the other harder observation to make on this is the outlier event is so close to the mean reversion, alright? And now how I'm going to play this, right, is if the next candle opens and closes below 1817, then I'll know that this is going to get denied mean reversion for longer term time frames. But if it opens and then closes here, we're going to have a bit of a fight because we have some positive drift in the market here, okay? But the general idea being is if it opens and closes above this, then that's easily going to mean revert through with positive drift coming in, which will get you through the mean reversion phase for at least another 2 days, right? So the 2 days are a little bit sketch because it can have a pullback within the data, but you have to sort of look a little bit forward of the next phase of volatility. Okay, XRP 24 hours, that's expanding while still in its trend. Let me go throw up XRP USDT, and then I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to shuffle from I'm going to shuffle from 1 minute up, and then we're going to reset those cones. Okay, so we've broken out of the 1 minute reverse wave trend. Okay, I want to throw up a JMA. So JMA, if you look for continuation, you're going to continue into 3738. What do we have to look for? Sloppy chips already, not looking so strong. That grey cloud needs to go up, and then you'll have continuation to the upside. We're fighting for a mean reversion to the downside. That's cool. Red flash isn't off though. That'll be the first target off of this. Let's see if there's anything on the higher term time frames that's going to follow this through. Contraction, negatively correlated. There's its mean. 5 minute looks like it's ready to make a move up, maybe to where the 1 minute mark is. This is a little bit higher. Again, boom, sideways. So it's pumped itself into a bit of sideways action here. 7 minute is looking for a bit more follow through, but we are in a downward trend with returns decaying. But if this has continuation, you'll look for a stop. If that gets up there, no red flash off. 7 minute mark 3742 above its mean in its reverse wave trend, which works quite nicely. Let me just open that up. It's quite fluid. Okay, close that down there. 15 minute. Okay, 15 minute, we're going to have a mean reversion to the upside, but there is some negative drift coming into the market. Alright, mean reversion, negative drift, we're leaving a trend. 15 minute, a little bit sketchy to read right now, as I like to put a lot of weighting on this, but obviously as soon as this column goes red, you're going to see this thing run. Okay, 30 minute outlier, sort of, yeah, outlier event matches up with reverse wave trend. Contraction though, positively correlated. So in the same sense that the higher term time frames do look quite bullish, the 30 minutes says you have to close above the next JMA for continuation out of here, because there's going to, as soon as the next JMA prints, there's going to be it's going to immediately want to target it. Okay, and that could be looked at as, like, if you feel like this thing's running away right now, that could be looked at as your next backfill. So if we start closing anything above here, contraction, positive drift coming in on the 45 minute, which confirms our mean reversion, which you were watching earlier play out. Let's see if that's the next ebb and flow. So you're looking for, this is what I like about entropy, right? That's Shannon Entropy. This is just like our alpha trading normal entropy. And what I read here is like, cool, I can see that there's positive drift coming into the market and it's wanting to trend. Okay, so like that's pretty valuable for me, which means when I see a target like that, I see, maybe it does have the legs to break a previous high, you know, where sometimes we have positive drift and it's going random, you know. So like here, for example, yes, there was expansion to the downside, but it started to move into a random phase, and we didn't break the previous low. So now this is the opposite of that. This is contraction with positive drift, trying to start a new trend, with return oscillator even wanting to turn around. So if we close here, we're gonna stay in the trend to the upside. 90 minute. What's gonna be hard here? Let's go throw up a VRE level. So there you go. This 90 minute, you really have to push this one, but problem is you want to close the 90 minute above this JMA, okay? And ideally the JMA doesn't open when it gets, because you see the JMA moves, right? So when this candle gets up to this JMA, if it does, we'll see in a bit now, what you want to do is you want to see that this candle closes in between the JMA and the red line, and then the next candle closes, just needs to, doesn't matter what happens, it just needs to close above the red line, and then this data will naturally mean revert to the upside, and then we'll have expansion on volatility, which looks like it can flip the book quite quick right now on the next print, but that's still in an hour and 6 minutes from now, so we've got to be patient for a little bit more continuation. And now that's, as much as this is mean reverting to the downside, we have sideways on the 90 minute, right? So I see that we have, oh, hold up, we have expansion, yeah, we have sideways, we have expansion to the downside, okay, and then this is dragged down. Hold up, my two rules finally match up. Anyway, so if this one is now expanding, sorry, if this one's contracting, the column is contracting, it's positively correlated, that's negative drift. That one's red, that one's negatively correlated, that means down, okay? But because they do cross like this, I know that they negate each other, okay? And then contraction, positively correlated, that's what's keeping us up the 4 hour on that, keeping us above the 4 hour print JMA. This is going to be quite a toughie, but there could be some cool continuation to the upside if this carries on through. Are we going boom boom? Should we go through it on the 1 minute? Mr. Bond, 007, contraction, nice. Okay, so you defend this outlier point if you close above this VRE level. That's happening here, okay, which, to be honest, is quite a hard thing, but XRP is a little bit unrealistic at the moment. It's not behaving as it should, or as it does. Check 5 min PC and AVP flatlined with PC expansion. Hey, my man. Just check it, you speaking real fancy words out here, bro. You're confusing me, man. You're confusing me. Okay, cool, that's still in its trend. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna go through it on the 5 minute there. What is it? 5 minute by PC. Okay, so we have some expansion coming up through for some continuation. This will be your first general touch in your orange region. Okay, for a good failure. Big things, fam, big things. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Okay, so let's go look for JMA means. That's having us an outlier event. Okay, so this, what happens here on the 7 minute, how I read this, is if we close below this line, the next print is naturally going to cross this line. Okay, and then that will confirm which will be the next best phase is a contraction phase, because we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 expansion phases in a row in the 7 minute. It doesn't come often. It doesn't really come too often. It's clean. There you go. There's your contraction, positive correlation. So now, what they need to do, if this red line doesn't want to cross, you just saw it. It has to close above 3, 4, 3, 7, 4, 2, and then you'll have expansion whilst positively correlated. But right now, that was the trigger in. If you just saw that one go green and everything dump in, we'll have to go maybe throw it on the 1 minute right now. There's a mean, there's an outlier, touch. So a wick below this and we're into our outlier. There you go. Contraction positively correlated, contraction positive correlated. I'll target orange. Alright. Target orange. Then see what happens. See what happens. If we close below that orange line, then the next 5 minute print is going to be easy to scalp to the downside. We didn't get a cross over here, right? Usually if we get a cross, we will have the pullback. So let's say if it closes above this little joint over here, these things will touch, and then it might look like it want to dump immediately, but there'll be a place to fill for a short if you want to join the short, if there's continuation. Mean reverting, 15 minute. Ooh! Ooh! Let me go see what the 5 days doing. Still sideways. Not enough pump to unsideways. A 3 day, still in its trend. That's at the orange line. Expansion, holding on by tooth and nail on the 2 day. Yeah, not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe an opportunity for another expansion, but we have hit an outlier event, so it's going to be hard for it to expand. Right, there's mean reversion phase. Too much front running. Let's have a looky see. Expansion there. Maybe I should go look at another coin for now. I'll go look at BTC. I'll do a sneaky BTC. 6 hours. 6 hours is my trendy friend. Even though it is losing its trend, there's positive drift in the market, which means it could drag into the red line and not be as drastic as we think. But given that we have a new daily and the current daily print is all the way down here, I'd say the other one's going to be about half this distance. So it'll print in somewhere here. Alright? If we close above here at the current time. But it'll print in somewhere here. And then I do think we come back for a wick. But for now there's positive drift that's keeping this away until daily. We're gonna throw it on. Ooh, let's do some sneaky shit. BTC USDT. Alright, Mr. Bond, we're gonna go full deluxe, fam. We're going full deluxe. Everything off. And then this is how we get those points. Booyakasha. New trend. No, still at the same point. Let's see. Yeah, a new trend. New trend on the 15 minute. Alright, alright. Nice, bro. Nice. We do verts. Crack it. Smashing. I think I went too far. There we go. Two back. Two back. What do you know? Pretty random, hey? Flashes. Everybody gang gang. Roll up, man. Roll up here. Roll up. Flashes off. Outlier event hit. That's the outlier event. Keeping above its reverse oscillator on the higher term time frame, which is a 45-minute orange line. Alright. UMP, smoke the UMP in the same region. Reverse wave trend mean. Okay, so I'll just flick these all on so that we can see together. Switch them off. We'll have PB Cohen on. Then we'll go and we'll throw the UMP up into here. But I want to take that off. I want to show you where the reverse wave trend is that we were at. Now VRE levels. There'll be a little bit of confluence up here. There's a little bit of confluence up here. UMP onto our UMP now. Looking for a close above UMP, but yeah, okay, perfect. Make it big. Come on. Hopefully you guys don't go blind. But what I'm going to show you here is you close above the UMP. Where is that thing? There you go. So if we were to make that red line come across the screen, there was the target through. Okay. Contract. Okay. This still does have an opportunity for full pump, but there we go. Now it's a little bit less sloppy. Right. So this thing can get front run. We need to see what's going to kill it. Sorry. Flashes off. Change that up. Let me just take all these blinding indicator. There we go. That will be enough. Okay. Expansion to the downside. That's what's happened. We were going random and losing out of its trend when we hit the UMP. That was that observation. Having an outlier point from the UMP. Contraction positively correlated to the downside. 45 minutes says it's looking for continuation to the downside. Alright, so what's going to negate that 45 minute? So that's quite a strong signal. Some sideways on the 90 minute. Bearish mean reversion to the downside. Daily's at 19,668. Off of a signal like that, if this expands and that goes through. Given it's quite hard to move those around. 3 hour. 3 hour mean reverting to the downside. Sideways expansion, still sloppy chips. So I close below this UMP, 19,982. I'll see continuation to the downside. We'll confirm mean reversion. As I just showed you there previously, you can do it on any time frame. Match up the JMA to this white line. Then you'll see when the candle comes through. I'll get rid of the labels. My eye's just quite used to it. The candle comes through, you'll see super scalpel breakthrough. Okay. We need to look for negative drift, at least for the 6 hour, because that is looking. So it's got positive drift. Yeah. You got to be real quick and get the flow. Okay. Mean reversion point 2043, 2431. Can move into trend. Okay, so any close below this JMA line where it's pretty much teetering at $1 difference, a close below that JMA line, and you're going to look for continuation to the downside. Okay. Why do I say that? Bearish div will confirm. That will move into its trend. Red flash is not showing at the moment, but it has hit a limit and then continue down. Returns do have the opportunity to increase down. That's the 6 hour though. That's the 6 hour though. 90-minute 6 hour. What's going to help this mean reversion here on the 12 hour? Expansion and volatility obviously is going to help that out. Currently it's random, but what will help pull it out of the randomness is the fact that there's 2 mean reversion plays happening. Okay, super scalp is hitting first, and this thing, this big ass cloud, when it gets tight like this and it whips around, it really does pull for some good signals, right? That will be nicely weighted and matched with everything that's happening here with some bull div. There we go, we've broken out of a reverse wave trend, which will confirm. So you'll more than likely see BTC wanting to have the opportunity to run up to $20,000, $717, if the next 12-hour candle obviously prints here and closes above $20,000, 280. That will naturally throw that ebb and flow, obviously with expansion to the upside, and that mean reverts, that mean reverts, that mean reverts, that has continuation. And volatility, percentage returns are tight, so it'll be easy to hit an outlier. Alright, that's just a 12 hour. Which way are we going? We're going to go up 24 hour. Mean reversion play happening, so this confirms. There's still negative drift, but this confirms an outlier point if we have, if we close above JMA, which is at $19,805. If you close above there, you'll have continuation. If you close here, the next print will naturally print with a little bit more bullish help, which will back that mean reversion, and if it prints here, and the next print prints like $3 higher, it will more than likely flip Shannon Entropy to the upside. 2 days JMA has, yeah, cool, new 2 day opens in 2 hours and 22 minutes, and what we're observing here is contraction and volatility whilst negatively correlated, and we're moving out of this downwards trend. Okay, so what were we looking at? I think it was from 9 minute to the 6 hour. Those guys are looking a little bit confusing to pull through. 3 day looking to mean revert, expansion, a little bit of sideways given we have returns that are trying to mean revert. We're looking for a new trend as that trend is over and we're decaying in a downwards trend, so we have to look for a new trend on the 3 day. Given we have the opportunity to deny this mean reversion will be denied any close below the JMA. Then we'll want to go target the orange line at 18,924. 5 day contraction, positively correlated, the opposite of XRP. Contraction was positively correlated, means more downside. So your more downside will be confirmed if you open and close the next candle below that JMA point. JMA point is $20,528. Next 5 day print opens in 2 hours and 21 minutes. Contraction, sideways, leaving its trend, done with its blue flashes. So if you're trading the 7 day, you'll look for a close, an open and a close above the JMA line, and if you have that, this will definitely be crossed through, and that would have left its downwards trend, and that will confirm the blue flash. So I run them backwards and forwards, seeing who's going to confirm who through the weighting of Shannon Entropy. Shannon Entropy says continuation to the downside on the 14 day, and it's in its trend. Is it alt season? Is it alt season? Oh, why are y'all so useless being nonsense? Poloniex #1, longest data. Contraction, positively correlated. Sorry, BTC. Okay, so I'm not gonna say this is gonna be easy, but you have you have quite a lot of confusion happening on the 21 day. But the trigger is literally, I love it, dude. We're at $20,015. The trigger to the continuation downside for the next 63 days is $20,005. Alright. Now, to confirm mean reversion, just for the RO, and to confirm that we've had our outlier points and are looking to this data to return back to the mean, which will lift the next candle. Mean reversion, outlier event, that's still saying bearish, and blue flash. If blue flash doesn't print on the next 21 day print, then you'll have continuation to the upside. So that's 4 indicators, and this only happens if you close above currently $20,004.36. So this JMA moves ever so slightly that you see here. So that's the power of like having indicators that are accurate on the 1 minute, where the margin of error is a pixel, and right now I can trust, like, shit, I'm looking at the 21 day and I know that, wow, if it's $5 difference for the next 63 days, I don't even think a trade with slippage is gonna make that much of a difference if that's the kind of decision you have to make. So we have mean reversion. This is only true if the next print isn't blue flashed, and then that will confirm that that's leaving its trend and that mean reverts. Problem is the Shannon Entropy that's wanting to, the longer term Shannon Entropy is naturally going to want to print into negative correlation. This one will naturally want to contract. That will add positive drift, but the problem is this guy is going to be stuck up here because he ain't going to just mean revert in one 21 day print, which will mean sideways, believe it or not. So sideways means the next print, the candle is going to be the same size as what this one is when it closes. Okay, so you have an opportunity cost of, I'm just going to call it 6%. Either, well, within 6%. It shouldn't be anything bigger than 6%. Right, so that's what I mean by sideways. So if this one's down, the next one could be up. But that is only true if you close above this JMA, which is now $7 away. Okay. So I'll do this. We're looking for, I can set this up. Hey, come back here. We want to make it look pretty. Pretty pink. Big fatty. We want you dotted. A dashing line worth of data that we pulled out here. We'll now put it on the 15 minute. We'll set the cones and see if it's true. Oh yeah, I didn't put the orange line, did I? Oh shit. Distribution cone time. Whoa. But we had you all in a row. And now Binance wants to repaint. So then 30. Sorry, I just want to set this distribution cone up. Come on. Am I getting rugged? Not at the moment. Nice. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm joking. Alright. So, contraction is expansion, that's sideways. That's sideways, especially with a big ass candle like that. Mean reversion. Hold above this line. Hold above the new PB cone. Mean reversion confirmed. Mean reversion confirmed. Blue flash confirmed. The next best thing will be for this thing to contract. This is so random to see in the data. 2 contraction candles, big expansion candle, not sustainable. Definitely not sustainable. Are we printing now? Yeah, we just printed. That makes sense. Contraction, that cloud goes down. This thing, as soon as it triggers down here, you'll see this thing go up. If it does. Otherwise right now it's sideways. If this white line flips around and hits there, and that's going green, then this is going to pull back into the cone. Let's see if I'm fast enough. Let's see what the 7 minutes doing. Mean reverting, contraction, that's up. That's up. That's contraction positively correlated. This one's going to be quite hard to kick. Expansion, that's in its trend. 1 minute's confirming that we might have some follow through to the upside just here. Which, there you go. Should kick that a little bit more. Not enough. It's going to be hard then. I'd have expected that lift to kick this grey cloud in. It looks like it's pumping itself into a dump. Sorry. It's fine. Not enough. Unfortunate. That's confirmed. As you can see, that mean reverts to the downside below JMA, and JMA crosses. Expansion can be quite hard to pull through, as we just had 2 big candles. I want to go see what XRP is doing, and then I'm gonna kick it. I'll leave you guys with the cone on BTC, so y'all can have some daters. Oh, sorry. Contraction. Mean reverted. We're looking for a pullback into the new daily mean. The daily mean could print somewhere here, 19,882, or a little higher. Cross. There's a region within due time, as it's crossed 2223. Reverse wave trend, there you go. Open and close above reverse wave trend. Open above reverse wave trend, close above here. Some continuation to the upside. You'll get out of there. Let me switch all this off. Okay. I'll do a little bit of a replay. No. Cool. XRP USDT. I'll do this quick. Okay, cone up, still above cone. So these are your targets. Your weekend range is open and close above there, look for continuation to the upside. Open and close below here, look for continuation to the downside. Monthly VRE level, daily VRE levels down here. I expect the print to honestly be somewhere here. I'm not even going to be zealous to the upside. I'll say somewhere here. Right? And usually what happens is on the next day's print it wants to pull back. So if it does want to run from this point, right, into any one of these regions, it might be a good scalp for the new daily open. And I need to make sure that I'm coffeeed up and awake for that. So I hope you guys have a good evening further. Ciao Bella. Pow pow.